days after my trip to Bologna, I was back to my version of reality, back in Madrid, and back in the analyst's office.
I just think it's amazing. You can be in another country with people you don't know, and yet the problems they have are all the same.
The same?
Well, Paola telling me she has this problem with food and men and her father.
You haven't mentioned your father.
And we're not playing that game.
Game?
The blame everything on your father game.
Is there something you'd like to blame on your father?
I just mean it's a cliche, isn't it? Girl has problems with sex or relationships or whatever, and then we have to talk about my childhood and my dad. I'm not doing it. Anyway, it was the 80s.
I'm not sure I understand.
I mean, it was the 80s. Everyone's dad was a bit crap, weren't they? I mean, not crap, just a bit... crap.
Crap?
Went to work, came back. Sometimes were angry, sometimes weren't. Sometimes were fun and affectionate, sometimes weren't. It was the 80s.
I'm not sure I understand the significance.
Before we understood everything. Before we all knew about psychology and attachment and the importance of a good childhood. Before we had to be perfect and understand ourselves and make healthy choices and stay away from narcissists and have therapy. No offence. Before everyone was toxic and everything was problematic.
Was your childhood problematic?
I don't even know what that means. Was my childhood complex? Yes. Was it perfect? No. Did it fuck me up? Probably. Whose didn't? I can tell you one thing. My childhood was a fuck ton better than my parents', and theirs was a fuck ton better than their parents', so... I'm not a victim.
Victim?
It just seems we have so much fucking self-awareness it becomes almost impossible to do anything without first analysing if it's going to be bad for us, and therefore feeling obligated not to do it. Are you in love or codependent? Is the other person selfish, or have you not communicated your boundaries well enough? I've read all the books, I've done all the quizzes, and I'm still none the wiser. Take me back to the days when an arsehole was just an arsehole and a mistake was just a mistake.
That's time.
If only it were. When I got home, Clive was cooking. He looked a little sad. I assumed it was a break-up with Christabel, but it turns out it was the anniversary of his nan's death.
You know, she was the first female caravan park owner in Wales. Possibly the only one ever. Bought her first one after my granddad died in 72, and then she grew a little empire. She brought me into the business when I was just 17. Gave me a sense of responsibility. She was good like that. Always teaching me. Taught me how to drink Penderyn as well.
Clive, what are you doing today?
Nothing is. You?
And in the dream, I'm lying face up in the snow and everyone is skiing past, whizzing by, and I'm just lying there. And then I realise I'm giving birth. I'm giving birth. So I take off my ski pants and I can see the baby's head crowning. And I lean back and look around and say, I'm finding this easy. I'm finding this really easy. And I relax back into the snow, and a midwife comes and takes a look between my legs. She stops and looks at me, kind of disappointed. And then she slowly closes my legs, and I know that the baby is dead. And it's dead because I relaxed. I was finding it easy, and I stopped trying. And I feel this overwhelming sadness, and I know that if I'd just given it one more push, like a proper push, it would have come out. But I stopped, and now it's dead. I just can't do the last push. Scared of what will come out, the blood, the mess, the baby, and what would happen after. The reality.
I wonder if she was scared. My mum, giving birth to me. She was only 14. I look her up on Facebook sometimes.
Do you miss her?
Oh, I don't know her. I mean, not as a mum at least. I do love her. I want the best for her, but it's hard not to be disappointed with how everything turned out. Maybe I'm just disappointed in myself.
But look at everything you've done in your life, Clive. living in different countries, making a go of it. I admire you, Clive. You throw yourself in, follow your heart, take risks.
Ah, not really is. It's just following different people, different girls around. I just hate being alone. I always have.
Believe it or not, so do I. So afraid of being alone, I leave them first. How smart's that? I only really know how to break things, Clive, not keep them going, you know?
People aren't computers, Izzy. They're not there to be worked out. They're people. Gotta just accept them, let them love you as much as possible, otherwise, there's no point. My nan taught me that. You wanna see my first fuck?
Yeah. That's a photo of a garage, Clive.
Yeah, first girl I ever fucked was in there. First girl ever told me I stink.
What?
I know I stink. People always tell me.
So why don't you do anything about it?
Well, I can't smell it, can I? And I kind of feel like it's a good test of who really likes me, who sticks around despite the smell. You can't be too careful, you know? Especially when you own 6 caravan parks.
Clive?
Thing is, us geeks, we work it out quicker than you semi-cool people. We're weird, and we get told we are from day one, so we either conform and change, or we get comfortable with who we are. We embrace our geekdom, all of it. Find our people, and that's that. See, you feel sorry for us, but really, it's us who feel sorry for you. If we thought about you, which we used to, but now we don't. See, you're only just realising now that you're weird, 'cause everyone is, but you're behind, 'cause you thought you were sorta cool, right? And now you have to adjust, get used to the real you, reconcile yourself with who you are, and accept it.
You're quite wise, really, aren't you, Clive?
Life isn't a problem to be solved, Izzy, and neither are you. So enjoy yourself. It's a later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the page.
I wonder about a lot of things. Is it my body or my mind making it impossible for me to be close to someone? Am I deliberately fucking things up for myself by self-sabotaging? Or have things so far been simply not meant to be? The truth is that I still don't know why any of this happens. The panic, the vomit, the total mindfuckery. Maybe one day I'll work it out and it'll be different. Maybe. But right now, I still have a more than sneaking suspicion all of it's going to keep happening every time I like someone. And I really don't know how to make that any better. How to be any better. And I want to be better. But I do know what makes it worse. Following the advice of anyone, paid or otherwise, who tells you that they know best. Or more specifically, that they know better than you do. We're all just fumbling along in trial and error, and anyone who tells you differently is lying to you, or to themselves, probably both. So be wary of anyone dishing out the advice too vehemently, a bit like I am now, as it's likely to relate more to them and their past mistakes than to you and any situation you find yourself in. If you're around someone who doesn't just listen to you and maybe give you a hug or tell you that they love you and that it's going to be okay, and that maybe you are a bit crazy, but that everyone is really, tell them to cut the crap. And while you're at it, cut your own crap and just listen to yourself. Even if it is really confusing and hard and quite terrifying at times, you'll find your own way through and you'll mess a lot of stuff up, but at least they'll be your mistakes and you'll be living your life. And you'll never have the pain of thinking that if you'd done things your way, maybe things could have turned out differently. So don't listen to anyone else's advice, including mine. After all, what do I know? I'm just a girl, standing in front of a boy, trying not to vomit on him.
KSiCK by Erin McHugh. Directed by Hannah Berrigan. In episode 8, Izzy was played by Sophie Trott, The Analyst by Milo Tolmie, and Clive by Delmay Thomas. Full details of all the episodes plus more information about the show can be found at our website at prosceniumonlinetheatre.com. If you've liked what you heard, please do share the episode. It's the best way to help us grow our audience and make more shows. Thanks for listening.